Hello everyone, it's Mr. Chase. I am going to begin to teach you how to use eBackpack, but before we do that I needed to show you a couple other things so that you can be set up and ready to use eBackpack. So before we get started on actually eBackpack, I want to talk to you about your flash drive, which hopefully I'll be able to cut in and show you a picture here of a flash drive. There it is there in case I can't do the other one. So this is just a generic flash drive. I think somebody gave me this one, or I found it. The usual ways I come across these things. So I want to show you how to set these up, because many of you will just plug in your flash drive, will do all kinds of things to it, dump all kinds of files and data, and then it'll be a big giant mess. I have a picture somewhere of a 7th grader, I think at the time, his notebook, and how just jam full of papers and stuff it was, and completely unusable really. And you get the electronic equivalent of that a lot of times with flash drives unless you set up organization. So that's what we're going to start out with today. So before we get started, I want you to notice something about this particular flash drive. If I flip it on both sides here, you can see that there's no name on the outside. One of the requirements for this class is that you have your name on your stuff actual printed. So here you see, I think that's a good view. This is my actual flash drive I use the most, and you can see that has my name on it right here and a label for it so I know which one it is. So you guys need to have that. The red one does not, so this is the wrong way and this is the right way. Okay, good, bad. Alright, so we're going to put in the red one now into the computer, and let me get on the computer screen here. In case you missed that, you can right click. You see that there? Yeah. On the Start button, right click and do Open Windows Explorer. That's what this window is called here, that lets you see around your computer or explore using Windows technology. I've made this full screen, which you can see this middle button does up here on your screen. Allows you to put the Explorer, the file viewer, full screen. So look over here right now on where the computer is. You see there's a little triangle out here to the left. Little arrow. If you click on it, it drops down and shows you everything that's on your computer, every hard drive, every disk drive, every DVD drive, everything that'll be connected. Now you'll notice on my main computer here, I have a lot of stuff connected. So this is not your typical school computer, because I have a lot of data and a lot of things that I do, so it's got quite a bit more potential than a normal computer here at school. So I'm going to put my flash drive into the computer. Here we go. I want you to watch on the left side of your screen and see what pops up. Okay, so if you were paying attention and watching carefully, you noticed right here the words Store and Go popped up, and we got the letter H. Now this whole naming convention with the letters A, B, C, D right there, hey, that's all going back many, many years to the first Windows computers, and A and B used to be what are called floppy drives, and we don't really have those anymore in computers. And then C was the hard drive, and that's why in a lot of computers today you'll notice that the only drive is the C drive, and that's why it starts with C and not A, giving you a little bit of computer history there. In any case, okay, so my flash drive that I put in is right now called the Store and Go. When I click on it with the left button here, it just shows me that there's nothing on it, which is good. It's a blank hard flash drive. I cleared it off for you so that we could start fresh and I could show you guys how to get your setup. Now the very first thing we're going to do after we insert the flash drive into the computer is we're going to change the name of it over here on the screen and put our name. So you're going to right click and get the mouse over here. So your mouse button, in case you really haven't used this before, has a left button and a right button. Okay. Now for those of you who are left-handed, if you're working at home, you can switch which button does what. So I'm going to say right button here for right-handers, and then if you're a left-handed person and you've switched your mouse at home, then you'll know that that means the left button for you. Okay. Anyways, so I'm going to move my cursor here to where my flash drive is. Right now it's currently called Store and Go and letter H. Store and Go is not my name. That might be your name, but it's not mine. So we're going to change it to actually put in our name. So I'm going to right click, and before I even rename it, which is right here, you'll see when I right click I get this whole list of things I can do. I want to rename it, but before I do that I want to show you something here under Properties. So we'll right click on the name of the flash drive, we'll select with our left button now, this is where the right and left become important again, Properties. And you'll see that the file system is what's called a FAT32. I'm not going to go into detail about why this is, but I'll just point out that with a drive system that's formatted with this type of file system, the FAT32, you only have 11 characters up here in the name of the drive to type your name. So if your name happens to be longer than 11 characters, then you'll have to figure out some way to abbreviate it. In this case, I'm going to say Mr. Chase. I can use capital and uppercase and lowercase letters. I just can't put a period. If I try to do that, it's going to give me some sort of error message. Or it should. Oh, I guess you can. Just can't use some characters. I guess you can use a period. But in any case, I'm going to put Mr. Chase. You could put, Timmy Smith. That might fit. But you'd notice that's exactly 11 characters. Like I couldn't, I couldn't put Timmy Smith Jr. because that's the limit. So mine's going to be Mr. Chase. Oops, if I can type correctly here. Okay, Mr. Chase. So there's a button that says apply and OK. One of the interesting things about Windows is you can click apply. Oh, see, it does contain an invalid character. There we go. I thought you couldn't put period. So I have to put Mr. Chase. And there we go. Okay, and it's going to make it all caps, as you can see on the screen. It doesn't like lowercase. So no periods, no funny characters, just your name. All right, it could be your first name, your last name, just put your name. This way, if somebody finds your flash drive and it happens to have lost the sticker, which it should have, like this one does, or have it written on there, if they can't read it or it's fallen off or something, you can put it in a computer and we'll know instantly whose flash drive it is. Okay, so a long intro about how to put your name on your flash drive. So now electronically, the drive's still letter H, as you can see there on the screen, but it has my name. So that's a good start. Now, back over here to the right, okay, so we're working on, make sure you clicked on your flash drive and it's highlighted there in light blue on my screen. And we'll have this white area over here, just there's nothing on your flash drive. Now some of you, even with brand new flash drives, will have things on their files and programs and what have you. You can leave those on, you can delete them if you're sure you don't need them, but I would just leave them if you're not sure. And then what we're going to do right now is set up some electronic folders so we can store our stuff. One of the things that Windows does and any modern computer system does is it allows you to organize your data in a way that makes sense and is logical using something called kind of a fancy term called nested folders. All that means is you can put folders inside of other folders. You can have like a big category and they get more and more specific as you need to. So our class is technology, so we're going to create a file for technology. Now, if you look at my screen up here with, again, my flash drive highlighted on the left screen here, I can go up to where it says New Folder. And you'll see that it pops up when I hold the mouse over or hover. It says Create a New Empty Folder, and that's what we want to do. So I'm going to click on New Folder. You'll see it pop up over here to the right, and it's going to have the name New Folder. Now, as you can imagine, if you just keep clicking New Folder, New Folder, New Folder, and you have 1, 2, 3, it's not really going to help you with anything. So we're going to give it a name. And since our class is technology, we're going to type the word technology. Okay, so that's our class. What I'd like you to do while we're at this level, again, this is the top level, okay, the very highest level of the flash drive, where we can kind of see the folders, all the folders on the hard drive, at least the top ones. We're going to create a couple more for other subjects. I want you to understand how to set up your flash drive if you haven't already so that you can have it organized and find your stuff when you go back. We're going to organize it by class. There's different ways to organize these, of course. You could organize it by date, or you can organize it by type of project, and there's just a bunch of different ways. The way I want you to organize it for now is just by class. So let's go ahead, click New Folder again. We'll make one Language Arts. Of course, is another class that all of you have. You could do one more if you wanted, like for math or algebra, whatever you have, and maybe one more for science. Okay, so now we've got 4 classes, and of course you can add more if you have more classes, and that'd be great. Inside our technology folder, we're going to put some subfolders, and I'll explain more about that later. But so find your technology folder, double click, get my mouse over here, so double click just with your regular left button. So you're inside, you can see up here in the address bar, it shows you that we're on the computer, we're on the inside the flash drive labeled Mr. Chase, and then we're inside our technology folder. So up here kind of tells you where you are. If you forget, be sure and just check the bar here, and it'll tell you where you are. So now inside technology, we're going to create some subfolders or some additional folders inside that class. So the first one I want you to create, so we're going to hit new folder again, and this one we're going to call projects. Okay, because we have a lot of, not a lot, but we have a few projects in this class in the remainder of our trimester. So we're going to create a projects folder, and then still at this top level now, not going inside the project folder, I want you to create another folder, and you're going to have to click off of new projects, or what's going to happen is, oh no, I guess it's okay. Okay, so we have projects, and then you're going to click another new folder, and this one's going to be called images. And I'll explain how that's used as we actually get into our projects. So, got our flash drive labeled. We've created several folders for the different for several different classes, and then now we're inside the technology folder creating some subfolders, projects and images. All right, so we got 2 subfolders at least, and inside projects, one more. Okay, so we're going to double click on projects. So in our address bar, you can see here that now we're inside technology, inside projects. All right, so we're going to create a new folder again, and this time we're going to call it the eBackpack Login Assignment. Okay, because that's what it is. That's our very first assignment. Now, if you're super organized and you have an awesome memory, you could also just say Project 1. If you're like the engineer and you're like, oh, of course Project 1 is the eBackpack Login Assignment. You're welcome to do that, but you got to remember what you call this folder, okay? I'm going to right-click and delete this one, as I don't want to confuse you guys. So our very first assignment is called eBackpack Login Assignment. So if you've done everything I've talked you through so far, you have labeled your flash drive with your name electronically. You have created in your flash drive at least 3 or 4 subject folders for the different classes, including technology especially. When I double click on technology, you now have at least 2 subfolders called images and projects, and then inside projects you've got one more subfolder called eBackpack Login Assignment. Alright, so I hope you guys have managed this well. Good luck on this. If you have any questions, of course, just be sure and talk to me, and I'll be happy to help you.